Hi there, Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces. Today I'm comparing for you the Napoleon Cineview fireplace insert and the Modern Flames Redstone inserts. So as you can see, both of them have trim kits available, and these inserts, especially in the smaller sizes, 26 and 30 inch in particular, are designed so that they could be put into an existing masonry fireplace. So your old brick wood burning fireplace, you want to convert it to electric. These are the types of inserts you would use, and then you would need the trim kit. Because there's no standard size in a masonry fireplace, the manufacturers of the inserts make the sizes that are most in demand, and then they will slide in. There will never be a perfect fit, so there's going to be a gap, and then you would use a trim kit of some sort to close that gap. So here we have two 26-inch inserts. The Cineview has two sizes, so 26 and 30 at this point. Redstone has 5 sizes, so we start at 26 and go up to 54. In those larger sizes, you would not have trim kits available. However, the Redstone does come with 2 options in the box with the insert. You would get a 5/8 inch very minimal lip to put around the glass, but you also get an 1 5/8 trim to put around the glass. So you've got a little bit of variability there in the box with the insert with the Redstone. And if that's not enough, the smaller sizes come with either a small or a large trim kit. And that would be the difference between, let's say, a 5-inch wide trim that you see here, or a 7-inch wide trim, for instance, on a 26. So there's lots of options for trim kits on these types of inserts. You can see that here we have a 3-sided trim and here we have a 4-sided trim. So both Redstone and Cineview come with a 4-piece trim if you purchase a trim kit. You don't use the bottom piece if your fire is sitting at floor level. You would use the bottom piece if your fire is raised up. So the trim kits are versatile. You get 4 pieces and then you decide whether you're using 3 or 4 pieces. Let's talk about what you see inside. So with the Napoleon Cineview, you have 2 flame colors. So you have the orange that you see here, and then you can mix blue in, and that will give you some sort of violet combinations. And then you have ember bed colors that can be changed. So you can adjust those depending on the look that you're after, and you can adjust the brightness of those embers as well. With the Redstone, my flames can change through lots of different colors. So I've got lots of independent colors that I can cycle through. And then once I can also adjust the ember bed colors. And let's see, here we go. I can adjust those. And if I get tired of playing around with color and I want to just set it back to the most natural, that yellow flame in the middle there, that will set me back to the natural color range. So a nice reset feature when you're finished playing with the colors, or maybe somebody else has grabbed the remote and they're playing with the colors, you can reset it. So there you have the flame colors. The other thing you're going to notice about these is that there are logs and crystals inside. And so you choose a single insert and then you decide how you want to set it up. With the Napoleon, you have a removable grate and the logs are sitting on top of that grate. That whole thing, both of those can be removed, and that would leave you with just the crystals inside. The logs here are not plugged in, so they do not light up. With the Redstone, I do have lights inside the logs, so they're glowing from within as if they're on fire, but I can remove those logs and just leave behind the gray glass crystals, so they'll look like glowing coals. So depending on how contemporary I want my fire to look, the logs are removable in both cases. And this has relieved them from having to produce 2 different models, and then you have to choose, and it's a lifetime decision. Now you can choose to have logs or crystals. You could change them at different times of the year if you wanted. You just choose the insert you like, and then change the interior as you go along. So those are both 120 volts. They can plug in, and then that gives you about 5,000 BTUs of heat. That's enough heat to warm up a 400 square foot area, and like all electric fires, you don't have to have the heater on to have the flames on. So I can use these inserts year round. If I'm sitting in the room entertaining or just reading in the evening and I want to have a fire on, but I'm not cold, I just turn on the flames without the heater. When I do need heat, I've got thermostat controls on the remotes, and I can set the temperature I like, and then they will keep me at that temperature. So heat output is very similar on these two, if not identical, and we have a range of sizes to fit into existing fires or to build a whole new design. One thing that you will notice is that the depth is slightly different, or perhaps you can't see it here, but they are slightly different. So the Cineview is just under 8 inches deep. The Redstone is closer to 10 inches deep, so a little bit more space in there. Depending on the situation you're putting these into, that depth may become a concern in terms of fitting it into an existing opening in particular. Otherwise, I don't think it's a major issue one way or the other if you're building a new structure with a mantle. You can find both of these at stylishfireplaces.ca. Search by brand and look for Modern Flames Redstone or Napoleon Cineview. If you're searching by style, you're looking for inserts and fireboxes.